Hi everyone, Sophia here for my great challenge. Today I'm doing something completely different. This is a craft project. I'm doing a total makeover on one of my antique lampshades. So we're in the kitchen because I really need some light, and this is the lamp that I purchased about 2 or 3 years ago at a garage sale, and I paid $10 for it. I had no idea what it was. I just liked it. Did some research. Turns out it's a federal style from 1930s, possibly 1935 or 1939. It's hand painted. It's got this gorgeous eagle on it with you know, the stars of the Union and all of that. I took down the shade so I can show you a close-up of what I'm talking about with it. All right, so first of all, this is a drum shade. It's not tapered, all right, so that's what they call a drum. And this is the original one. I've seen other lamps similar to this on eBay, and they all have this black shade. The problem with it is that it's just too dark. First of all, there's no light coming through, which is all right, but it's just a big black blob in my living room. It goes well with the lamp, but it doesn't go well with my living room at all. And I can't find a replacement. Can't find a drum shade this tall with the stuff here on the top. It's a pain in the butt. So instead of just searching forever, I'm just going to do a makeover. So let me show you some of the damage. The top part here is supposed to have these 3 ribbons. Got the little roll ribbon here, velvet one, and a gold ribbon, and all of the stuff is pretty much coming off. You see that? All right, because it's old. So I'm going to remove all of this, right? There's a part here that's kind of pulling apart, so I have to re-glue this together. On the bottom here, it's the same thing. There was a gold ribbon. You can probably see some of it right here that I already removed, and then the rest of the stuff is just falling apart. This is really falling apart. It's a good thing I'm taking it out. Wow, look at that. It's so easy to remove. It's going on its own. Anyway, I'm going to remove all of the ribbons here, and I have acrylic paint. This is a what's the color? What do they call it? It's like a beige ivory linen color. So this is the kind of color that goes with everything. All right, so the outside is going to be painted in linen color, this beige. Hopefully I can cover all of the black. The inside I'm going to paint with this metallic gold all the way inside here, so that's going to help reflect the light. Okay, then I'm going to use some fabric glue. This is the quick dry fabric fusion, and I'm going to add this ribbon here to the top and the bottom, not flat. I'm going to ruffle it. All right, so it's going to be a ruffle all around here, and then to kind of finish up the ruffle here, I bought this cord or trim, whatever they call it, that's made out of raffia, or I don't know, maybe it's canvas. I'm not sure what this is. It's basically an embellishment that you can purchase at Michael's. All of the supplies that I purchased, I got at Michael's. These are the brushes, the flat, non-angled, that I'm going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of the trim, the old trim that's on the shade. Then I'm going to see if I can repair the split here with the paper. It's actually more like a cardboard. And once that's done, I'll start painting the inside with the gold. So removing the ribbon shouldn't be too hard because the stuff is falling apart on its own. So I'm just going to gently pull on it. See that? So I won't need to use any sanding paper on this because remember, I'm putting a ribbon over this. So I have to figure out whether or not I need to remove the little bit of ribbon they have here. And then I'm just going to keep it. It's kind of sealing the whole thing, and since it's fabric, it's going to help me adhere the ribbon over it once it's painted. Just going this way. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I just take that out and put a new piece of paper over it? Well, I tried to figure out sizes and everything, and to be honest, this is still in very good condition. It's sealed here on the top. I don't feel the need to redo the whole thing. And yes, I could try to continue searching for a shade, but quite frankly, doing it myself brings me joy. And in addition, it gives me the opportunity to have a lampshade that I really, really like. I'm just gonna try the glue here to fix the little gap. You see, I have a gap right here. I don't want to damage it anymore. So I'm just gonna try that glue and see what it does. Just gonna put the glue right here. And this is supposed to glue fairly rapidly, so I'm just going to keep it taut like this. I do have some excess, so I'm going to remove that, otherwise it's going to show. I was having a hard time getting this thing to stay glued, so I ended up putting a piece of tape on the inside, and that's okay with me because this is getting painted anyway. But on the outside, this is what it looks like, and it's still not perfect. So I'm hoping that once I paint it and continue to press on it, eventually it's going to get glued. So now I'm going to paint the inside in gold. I'm using Folk Art metallic paint right here. This is an acrylic. And this is supposed to be like a satin finish, not a super gloss. Let me just open this, and I have a brush that's a synthetic bristle. I'm gonna shake it as much as I can first. Okay. Well, it's definitely gold. I hope this is gonna look good. I've never done something like this before. I figured, you know what, let me try this first, and then we'll see what it looks like. And if I really don't like it, or if I did a bad job, then at that point I'm really gonna have to research and find a drum shade. So I'm just gonna go to the edges. I don't know how many coats I'm going to need. And the good thing is that this paint is actually covering the tape, so that's good. I got one coat of the gold, if you can see. I definitely need 2 coats, and then I also went over the wire right here. So I'm not sure if I want to go down or in circles. I did a little bit of both. I kind of like the in circle, but it's much more difficult to do. So I'm going to see for the second coat how much coverage I get, and then maybe do a third coat because I got plenty of paint. And to be honest, this looks like gold leafing inside, so I really, really like it. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like once I have the light bulb and all the light is being reflected back and forth inside the shade. So I've just applied a second coat, and to be honest, the plastic tape that I placed is entirely covered. So what I did is pretty much the same thing on the other side, because I expect the acrylic to cover it. And after much reflection as to whether or not I should do brush strokes this way or in circle, I realized that if I just go like this over the paint that's almost dry, and I'm just doing you know, little brush strokes, not complete ones, it ends up looking like gold leafing. You know, like when they do gold leafing on a pattern or a vase or anything, you end up seeing like almost like those little leaves of gold. So I just go ahead like this and dip a little bit, just have a little bit of paint that's almost dry, and I'm just doing little strokes like this to create a little bit of a pattern inside the drum. And it really does, at least for now, gives me the effect of gold leafing. I'm not sure you can see it because it's kind of like reflecting the light and shining in the camera, but maybe once it's dry you'll be able to see it. So to me it's a much better look than what I had before, where I wasn't sure if I wanted to do straight lines or circles. I kind of like the way it looks. Let me see if maybe you can see it this way. I don't know, not sure. Anyway, this is done. I got 2 coats, that's plenty. I'm gonna wash this and start painting the outside. So while the gold is drying, I'm just going over the top like this because the previous color was kind of like a burgundy. Excuse Scott while he's putting Tupperware back in the cupboard. And I'm just going over very gently, and again the brush is almost dry, to cover the top part with the gold so I have a unified look. Not sure if you can see that, so let's do it this way. I'm going to grab the bottom and I'm just going over like this with the dry part of my brush. I'm not concerned if I bleed over here because this is getting painted. Alright, so this is all dry. I'm ready to paint the linen color on the outside of the shade, and for that I'm using Folk Art again, and this is acrylic paint. The color linen, it's basically like an off-white beige, very, very pale beige. I didn't want bright white, I wanted something that was kind of blending in with the fabric that I picked and the cord in addition to the rest of my decor, so we'll see what it looks like. The brush that I'm using is a little bit fatter. Was that you, Scott?
No.
Okay. Well, say hi. You gotta go in. Here's Scott. You see him? Okay. And Willie.
Hi.
Can't see you. Can't see you. Oh, here you go. All right.
I am very
I'm hoping this is going to cover the black. I have a feeling I'm gonna need 3 coats for this one. Let's get started. So it covers pretty good. I'm definitely going to need at least 2 coats, but it covers pretty good, better than expected. Let's finish the whole thing, let it dry, do a 2nd coat, and then we'll see the finished result with the painting. Then I'll be ready to add the ribbons. So I took the paint really well, and I like this linen color. Now I just read the instruction. You know me, I read the stuff after the fact. It takes about an hour to dry, so I want to do a good job on this. I don't want to rush it, only because this is the surface you're going to see. The inside not so much, but this is the surface I'm going to see, so I want to make sure I'm really dry before I apply the 2nd coat. So while this is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and clean the lamp itself because the base is a little bit dusty and grimy. Just going to push everything to the side. And I have a lot of little nooks and crannies right here that are, you know, dusty, so I'm just going to take a rag and a little bit of the, you know, maybe like the end of a knife or something, put the rag over it and just clean everything. Just gonna use my Amish milk, which is really not all that great for furniture restoration. That's what they sell it as, but trust me, it doesn't work as such. And I think I mentioned that before. So I added a little bit of water the other day because it was getting a little thick. I'm just gonna put some here and start buffing away. And like I said, take a knife like this and go in the little corners and remove as much dirt as I can. So I'm on the 2nd coat, and what I'm doing is that with the part of the brush that's a little bit dry now, I let this dry for about 5 minutes. I'm just going over like this, and it's creating a pattern. You see the brush strokes? I'm not sure if you can see them. All right, the reason why I'm doing this is because it's giving the shade a little bit of a texture, and it almost looks like fabric. All right, now I have no idea whether or not in the end this is going to look good. I have a feeling that the style of the shade that I'm doing with the ribbon and stuff is not going to be all that great with that particular lamp. personally, I think that whatever I do is going to be an improvement to the old busted shade that I had. So I have 2 coats. I think 2 coats is enough. This is really going to need to dry, only because I don't want to have prints and defects and all of that when I'm working around with the ribbon. So I'm just going to clean this up, have my cup of tea, walk the dogs, clean something in the kitchen, and then I'll be back to start the ribbon around the top and at the bottom. So while the lampshade is drying and I did some cleaning, we had lunch, I'm going to prepare the ribbon, because the last thing I want to do is fold the ribbon as I'm gluing it. I need to have it folded, or pleated rather, before that. So I'm just going like this. This is a ribbon that's a canvas. Almost looks like painter's cloth, but it has a little bit of glitter in it. I don't know if you can see that. And it also has 2 wires on either end. So the great thing about it is that it's easier to fold and stay folded. So I'm using 2 fingers like this for the fold, so that all of the folds are more or less the same size. See that? So 2 fingers going like this, and I put it right where I left the middle. I'm trying to go as straight as possible, otherwise the whole thing is going to be crooked. Ultimately, once this is installed, it's going to be glued this way, and then I may open it a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll see, but I have enough. This is Vintage Blush Rose Antique by Celebrated, and I think I have 10 yards. So there's plenty to do an entire circle around the top and another one at the bottom. So this is all dried. Here's my ribbon. I cut enough to go around. I'm going to take my glue. This is quick dry fabric fusion, permanent adhesive, fast drying and super flexible. The brand I cannot read. This is too little. So I'm just going to try to apply this. What I want to do is do half and half, meaning that half of the ribbon is going to be at the bottom and the other half is going to be on the top. Okay, so here's one right here, and I really don't know whether or not this is going to work, so I'm just going to put some glue directly on this. And it's falling down. So I'm just going to cut the area right here that overlaps. And glue that in, like this. And a little bit of glue over here. Tuck that in right where I started, okay, right there. Okay, so here we go. This is staying on. Got the entire top. So for the trim, I got to be a little bit more careful because I don't want to put the glue directly on this. So I'm going to do little by little, apply it directly to the trim, and then bring it right here at the edges. Like this. So this is what it looks like, and of course I gotta hold it strongly because this has a tendency to pop out. So just gonna go like this. It looks like it's holding pretty good. So I'm ready to do the second row, and the second row I don't want this to be too low. Even though it looks good because you see the light through it. The problem is that I also want to be able to see the head of the eagle. So I'm just going to do same thing, the half of it. So now from doing the first one on top, I have learned that you're better off working in large sections. And I'm just going to apply the glue on the fabric rather than on the lamp. So I'm just putting, you can't see right now, I'm just putting the glue here at the bottom. And I'm going to, see the glue is already on it. And I'm just going to put it like this. And the reason why I'm saying you're better off working with large sections, because that gives you tension. And you can just apply it and press a larger section, and you don't have the weight of the rest of the ribbon pulling whatever you've been trying to glue, basically. So see, you got to hold it a little bit. It is fast drying, that much is true, but to be honest, this is really a messy glue. You get like those little filaments all over, like this one here, and some of them got on the lampshade. So what's going to happen is that eventually I'm going to have to do some touch up so you don't see it. So I'm trying to press hard here, like so. Alright, so I'm holding this because I'm turning the lamp, and I don't want the weight of the ribbon to take the whole part here and unglue it. Now for this one, unfortunately, I got to put the glue on the lamp itself. So just put a nice ribbon right here. You can go like this if you want to. And just apply it. Now there's some areas where the little pleats are going to come undone. No problem, just pull them back in. Like this one, for instance, came undone. So you put it back. As far as I'm concerned, right now, this is a major improvement from the black busted shade that I had. It may not necessarily be the best lamp shade for this lamp, but it's definitely going to look better in my living room. And at least it looks new. All right, here we go. I think it's a definite improvement from the black shade. Now, it's not perfect. There's some errors. You know, it's not super straight. The ribbon is not absolutely perfect. I don't really like the fact that you can see the fold underneath, but you know what? It's much better than what I had. Personally, I think it fits better in my living room. It is a big shade. There's no doubt about that. I don't think a smaller shade would do, but I think it looks pretty good. It blends in. You're totally backlit, so hold on. If I turn on the light from the ceiling, maybe you'll see it better. Yeah, it definitely blends in with the rest of the decor. At least I don't have this big black blob, which was way darker than the base. And it doesn't look too bad with the eagle. I think it's pretty okay. Yeah, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Much better, but still could use something a little bit more fitting. For now, I'm satisfied with it, and I'll leave it at that. So I'm done with this project, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it was really worth my time and effort. I do like it much better. It's not the final result that I wanted. The shade itself, the design, you know, with the ruffle and everything doesn't necessarily fit the federal style of the lamp, but that's all right. I really like this lamp. I love the base. I just hated the black shade. So until I find the right, maybe even the original one in pristine condition, lampshade to go with this lamp, I'm gonna keep the one I made. One, because I made it, and it was actually fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun to do. It didn't take too long. You know, as always, what takes the longest is for you to wait for the paint. But other than that, you know, I mean, it's all right. I kind of like it. It's less intrusive in the living room, that's for sure. And it's something that I made. So yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. I made it. Yay! Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. And subscribe if you are new. I haven't done a DIY craft project in a long time on this channel, so I think I was way overdue. So there you have it, Lampshade Makeover. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye!